Once again, it's time for practicing. Today, you have got a target, one chapter. Now, start fast.
The thought came to us certainly that he would never fail if you knew three things. These three things were: what is the right time to begin something, which people should he listen to, what is the most important thing for him to do. The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his question differently. In reply to the first question, some said that king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going, avoid foolish pleasure, and always do whatever seemed necessary at the time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of the wise men who would help him the actor at the proper time. This was because one man who would help him the impossible to decide correctly without help from others the right time for every action. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. This could not wait for the reason of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and only magicians could do that. The king therefore have to go to the magicians. In their answer to the second question, some said that people most necessary to the king were the counselors. Others said that the priest, and few others chose the doctor. And yet others said that the soldiers were the most necessary. To the third question, some said that science, and others choose fighting at other religious worship. As the answer to his question were so different, the king was not satisfied to give no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. To the hermit lived in a wood which we never left. He saw no one but simple people, and so the king put an ordinary clothes before he reached the hermit's hut. The king left his horse with his bodyguard and went alone. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of the hut. He greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak, as he worked, he breathed heavily. The king went to the hermit and said, "I have came to your wise hermit to ask you to the answer three questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I need most, and what affairs are the most important?" The hermit listened to the king but did not speak. He went on digging. "You're tired," and said the king. "Let me take the spade and work in your place." "Thanks," said the hermit, giving to the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. When the king had dug two beds, he stopped and repeated his question. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out the hand and for the spade, and said, "Now you rest and let me work." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun went down behind the trees, and last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to a wise man for an answer to his question. If you can give me no answer, tell me, so I will return home. Here comes someone running," said the hermit. The king turned round and saw a bearded man towards running. His hands pressed against his stomach, for which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed his man's clothing, and finding a large wound in the stomach, the king washed and covered it with the handkerchief, but blood would not stop flowing. The tree redressed the wound until it had the last bleeding stopped. The man felt better and asked something to drink. The king brought fresh water to give him, but this time to sun, and said the air was cool. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired to walk he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. When he awoke, it several minutes before he could remember where he was, who the strange bearded man lying on the bed. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in the weak voice when he saw the king but awake. "I do not know. You have nothing to give me. You for," said the king. "You do not know me, but I know you. I am the enemy of your I am the enemy of yours who swore revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property. I knew had gone alone to see that the hermit, and I made up my mind to kill you and on your way home. But the day passed and you did not return, so I left my hiding place and came I came upon your bodyguard and recognized me and wounded. If I escaped from him, but I should have died. If you had not dressed my wounds, I wish you killed you and have saved my life. Now if I live, I will serve as the most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with the enemy so easily, to have to won him over as a friend. He not forgive him to said he would send the servants and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property, leaving the wounded man. And the king went to of the heart and looked around the hermit before the going away, wished to once the more get the answer to his question. The hermit was on knees sewing sheets, the beds and the heads being dust the day before. The king went up to the hermit hut and said that the last time I begged to answer my question, wise man, you have already been answered, said the hermit, still bending down the ground and looking up at the king as they stood before him. How have I been answered? What do you mean? And what do you not see? Replied the hermit. If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday, I had not dug these beds for me, you would have go away, then would have to attack your, and you would have wised your stay with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do the good was your most important business. Afterwards the man ran to the most important time was the when you were the carrying the, because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having any peace with you. So he was the most important man, and but you did not him, and you was the important business. Remember, then there is only time that important, and that time is now the most important time, because it is only time we have any power to act. The most necessary person to the person you are with the particular moment, for no knows and what will happen in the future, and whatever will be with everyone else. The most important business to do the person good, because we were sent into the world for the purpose alone. Thank you.
Very nice. You have taken an 722. There is a divided the chapter 2 parts, a very large part, and but you have taken an 720 has been completed. That's very fantastic, fantabulous, very nice.